I'm Owen. That's Parker. We're going to preview the 76ers season. How are you doing, Parker?
Good man, it's been a while, all
Yeah.
Philly all the time. We're making a nice little comeback, okay? Nice little comeback, and we need it right now because Philly is down, Philly is beaten, bruised, battle. Obviously, the Phillies lost baseball, but guess what? We got basketball. 10 times more entertaining, 10 times faster paced. And honestly, Owen, I don't know if I'm excited or frightened to talk about the 76ers season. There's a lot to talk about, honestly. I think we should like dive right into it because we could take so many different directions, and I'm just excited to
Mhm.
see where this conversation leads, not gonna lie.
I think that's the perfect way to put it. Is I don't know how to feel about this season, and I think that's kind of how it's been with the Sixers the last 3 years, probably. Where it's just I don't know, man. So yeah, I think the place where I would like to start is just what your expectations are for the season, because I feel like what I've read and seen, there's a wide spectrum of what people expect from the Sixers. Some people are like, they're not a playoff team at all. Joel Embiid's never going to be a reliable player. Or Joel Embiid's never going to be capable ever again. His knee is destroyed. Nothing good is going to happen. See the middle ground of people being like, well, if they're healthy, and then there's the optimist side of like, Joel Embiid can still carry a team. So where do you fall on that? I feel like there's such a wide range of what people are feeling.
It's such a wide range, Owen, and honestly, the 76ers season kind of hinges a little bit on their best player, Joel Embiid. I mean, the health
A
of
lot.
Joel Embiid has been probably what, a 4 or 5 year conversation at this point. We know Joel is an MVP frontrunner when he's healthy. Um, but at this point, can he stay healthy for 50 games in the regular season? Can he stay healthy going into the postseason when he's never proven that at all? There's some buzz right now about skinny Embiid. Embiid's losing weight, looking in best shape ever. But honestly, Owen, where I land on it is I haven't seen it. Of course, in the preseason, all these reports come out about, oh, this guy looks amazing. Embiid looks good. He's a veteran. There was the article that came out back in August about just misunderstood Embiid, how, the media has portrayed him in a negative way, but that hasn't truly been him and his character. And, coming over from Africa and, everything that he had to deal with adjusting to American culture. Like, all right, I understand all that, but I can set that aside. I think he's actually a solid individual, but his health is another thing, right? And so when I look at Embiid, I look at someone who um, is in his 30s, is over 7 foot, is a big man that has been plagued with injuries in the lower legs for the last 8 years, at least since college at Kansas. And um, I look at someone that I don't think will ever truly be healthy. Not gonna lie, like I I don't know, Owen. Do you feel good about him playing 40 games this year? Do
No,
you
and
think he can
I'm
play 40?
I'm the optimistic person. Like I generally, in like most scenarios with most teams and players, I'm like, injuries, you can't really predict them. But with the Sixers, somehow it feels like you can. The Sixers as a whole, it's just like somebody's going to get injured. And I don't know what you do about that. And then, yeah, Joel Embiid in particular, I don't know what it looks like for a 7 footer to come back from that surgery that he just had. It's great. I'm
But here's
still
the
like,
thing,
there's a
Owen.
chance he comes back and is good because Joel Embiid's amazing, but it's also very possible that, yeah, he doesn't return to form.
Well, and the thing is, the NBA competition is so crazy and high level now. It's like last year when he was playing, they were an average team. He did not have a real impact on the team last year when he was playing. The rim protection for Embiid is completely gone. He doesn't guard the rim anymore, and he's still solid on offense. But when him when it was him, Maxey, and Paul George, their big three, they were almost even in point differential. It was very close to even when they're going against the other team, and that's supposed to be their big three, quote unquote.
Hmm.
So
Small
you just
sample
look at
size.
the
They
fact
played
that
what, like 12 games together?
yeah, 12 games. I think it was like 170 minutes or something.
Not a lot.
Um, not a lot, but you just look at that and you see, okay, there's a reason why it's not a lot. It's because Embiid's never healthy. It's because last year Paul George is aging and now he's in his upper 30s. Like, do we really expect him to be a 20-point per game player? No, he's probably closer to 13 to 16 at this point because he's up there in age and not everybody's LeBron. Not everybody's
Mhm.
Kevin Durant. Those are just two crazy, crazy players. So to answer your question, Owen, I think a realistic output for Embiid is not playing back to backs. Um, maybe playing 30 games, 35 games in the regular season out of 80, less than 82, less than 50% of the games. So I think that's that's kind of what I'm expecting, and it's disappointing, but I don't know. I just don't see him playing very many games.
Yeah, that would be very disappointing. And we start there because that's pretty much what the Sixers' hopes hinge on. Um, if Joel Embiid isn't healthy, then there's really not that much hope for the team. In basketball, you need your number one star to be number one star if you're going to compete in the playoffs, let alone for a championship. So when we talk about Sixers expectations, it makes sense that that's where we start because that's the core of it. Without Joel Embiid, there is nothing to really hope for this team. So if we're not feeling great
Now,
about him, we can't be feeling great about the team as a whole, right?
right, but let's flip it around. Okay, last year, 24 wins. Okay, they went 2-12 to start off the season, and then after the All-Star break, they only beat four teams. They went 4-24. Okay. So if you think about like last year, it was a disaster, right? Can't be worse than that. They were actively tanking to get a good pick.
And it
And
worked.
they did get a good, they kept their pick. Yep. And so last year, we know what happened, obviously. To think that it'd be worse than that is just ridiculous as well. So to answer your question on my expectations, um, I don't think they're going to be a bottom five team in the East. I don't think they're going to be a top five team in the East. Um, it's going to be somewhere right in the middle, and we can get into that if you want to.
This is giving me the same vibes. When we did our preseason last year, I was surprised at how low you were on the Sixers. I think you predicted like, yeah, pretty middle of the road, like 40,
I
low
did.
40s wins. I think like 42. You had them going like basically 500, and then like losing in the first round of the playoffs. Obviously, it went much worse than that, um, but the expectations were not that at all. So yeah, you're right. Only way to go is up. They have some young pieces. Um, so yeah, I think that I think that we've said this before. Also, I don't want to get hurt again by the Sixers, so I'm trying to keep my expectations low. But if things do go well and guys are healthy, it always comes back to the health. If they're healthy, the East isn't that strong. So they could be competitive. And that's where I start talking myself into it is when I look at the like talent that the Sixers have versus just on paper the rest of the East. And it's not exactly a gauntlet. On paper, they seem fine compared to other teams in the East.
On paper, the Sixers can compete with anybody. Okay, they're all healthy.
Don't tell me
I'm
that.
genuinely saying that they can. Okay, they are a frisky team. All right, any given night. You got Embiid playing, you got Maxey playing. Okay, theoretically, those guys are healthy for a season. You got two All Stars right there. The East is weak this year, right? So theoretically, you got two All Stars. Now Embiid is not going to play 65 games. He's not going to be able to be recommended for the All Star, like as a uh, on any of the All Star teams. He's not playing 65 games, but you got an All Star in Embiid potentially, right? You got Tyrese Maxey, who is a fringe All Star. So that's two guys right there. The best teams that win championships either have two or three of those guys, and they have a good supporting cast. When we talk about the Sixers supporting cast, we have Paul George, who was one of the only efficient 3-point shooters, like semi-efficient 3-point shooters last year for the Sixers. Okay, when you compare him to the rest of the team, and then you have guys that are coming back, right? We got our rookie, obviously VJ Edgecombe, but then Jared McCain, who is obviously hurt again right now, but was an amazing shooter at the beginning of the season last year. So you surround Embiid with shooting. Theoretically, this could work. VJ Edgecomb's an athletic player, okay, and then Kelly Oubre is just going to guard one of the other team's best players. Theoretically, okay, I remember thinking about it last year. Like this team makes sense when they're healthy. Bring back Quentin Grimes, and all of a sudden, you've got some of the best guard play in the entire Eastern Conference. Okay, the West is a different animal, but in the East, you've got probably the best guard play. Potentially, we haven't seen VJ Edgecombe, but potentially the best guard play in the entire, at least on the offensive end, in the entire
Hmm.
conference, right?
The caveats you have to add: best guard play. Well, in the East. Well, on the offensive end. But yeah.
But if you just look at it from an offensive perspective, it's there. Can
Hmm.
Embiid provide rim protection of 2 or 3 years ago to hold down the front court?
Hmm.
If he can do that, then this is a legit team that can compete with anybody. My real concern for them comes in on Embiid not being healthy or Embiid not having the same rim protection.
Yeah.
And how, what is Adem Bona last year was not good. What does Andre Drummond give us at this point? What do our big guys? Kelly Olynyk is not a center power forward really. He plays power forward, but he doesn't like he's not actively rebounding on the defensive end a whole lot.
Oubre.
He's competing. Oubre, yeah,
Okay. You said
Kelly Oubre.
Olynyk. I was like, they don't have Kelly Olynyk, right?
Oh, sorry, no, Kelly
Very
Oubre.
good.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
guarding one of the athletic wings, but he's not really
Yeah.
grabbing rebounds. So it concerns me. Um, Janai Broom, they drafted him in the second round. Is he really doing much in the NBA? I have no clue. Like, so their bigs are a really, really big concern.
Big
Um,
concern.
literally, yes. Except they're not big. That's why I don't like them. They don't grab rebounds, and
Yeah.
it's frustrating, honestly. So I could see them just getting out rebounded in 80% of the games they play, and that's not a recipe for success, Owen. It's not a recipe for success.
And we've seen them struggle with that in past years. And boy, let me tell you, is it frustrating to have a team that can't rebound well. Just not fun to watch, especially in big games. Like my mind immediately goes to against the Knicks in 2023. I guess in 2024, the 23-24 season, where they just Josh Hart was getting rebounds he had no business getting. That's just Josh Hart, but like it felt like the Knicks got so many extra possessions that they should not have had. So that's just where my brain immediately goes. I loved what you said about theoretically it should work or could work. That's like I think that's the banner, that's the subtitle for the season. 76ers 25-26. Theoretically it could work. I think that's a
On
really
the
good
offensive
mindset.
end,
On the,
on the offensive end,
yeah, yeah,
I do not want to see what the Sixers look like on the defensive end this year. I am so concerned about it. There is
yeah.
so many good
Speaking of
athletic players in the
small,
NBA. Yes.
yeah,
Okay. Super small. You think, all right, Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, they're two guards, right? Well, who do you draft? VJ Edgecombe, smaller guard, really athletic but smaller, right? Oh, who's your backups? Oh, Kyle Lowry. He's 6 foot. I'm taller than him. Like, oh, Quentin
Hmm.
Grimes. Oh, he's tall, right? No, no, he's 6'4". And now you have guards that are 6'6" coming into the league. Like,
Yeah.
even just guys like the Duke players, like not Cooper. Obviously, Cooper Flag is big, but even his teammate, like the other white guy, um, they're all like 6'6" in their guards at this point. Do we really think we're going to be able to rebound over those guys and provide any paint protection when Embiid is not protecting the paint like he was a couple years ago? And
No.
oh yeah, we got Eric Gordon who's aging, and I don't even know why he's on the team anymore. And
I can't believe Eric
um,
Gordon is still on this roster. That's my least favorite part of this team.
it- he's guess how old he is, Owen? Do you know how old he is?
36.
Yeah, he's 36. How old is Paul George?
Bang. Has no business being on this Sixers roster. You can't tell me there's nobody better to get than Eric Gordon. Just,
No. How old is Paul George, you think?
do you just say Paul George is the same age?
How old is he though? How old do you think?
If he's the same age, he'd be 36.
No, I just asked how old. He's 35. He's 35.
35. Okay. Sorry, I thought you said before Paul George is the same age as him. So I was like, but yeah, 35. Not great.
And
Uh,
guess what, Owen? To round it all off, Kyle Lowry, 39.
yeah.
Yep. We just love
Yeah.
our veterans.
Yeah.
They're going to be getting smoked by all the 21, 22-year-olds that are in the NBA now. It's just the
Hmm.
defense is going to be very, very bad. I'm telling you right now, they might be one of the worst, if not the bottom three defenses in the NBA this year. And they just
Wow.
really have to be exciting on the offensive end. I'm not kidding. They just got to be really good on the offensive end.
Okay, gotcha. I knew that the defense was not great. I didn't know that our expectations should be that low, but that's helpful now to know that not the defense isn't just going to be bad. It's probably going to be really bad. So that's great to know.
Yeah, like Jared McCain last year, he was great on offense, but I remember talking to you about it. He would just
Yes.
make so many defensive mistakes. And I was like, oh, this is fine. It's just rookie thing. Like he can iron it out. Well, then he gets hurt. He misses his rookie year. Now he's
Hmm.
going to be ironing that out this entire season.
Hmm.
Live ball action is a little different than in practice. So I'm
Yeah.
concerned. You know what else I'm concerned about, Owen? I'm concerned that obviously Jared McCain has a UCL. He sprained his or tore his UCL in his thumb, right? Like that's not good. He's not going to be back until December, right? The injuries are already happening like last year. Did you hear as of today, Paul George is missing the first game at least of the season? Um,
No, I didn't hear that.
the
But
the quote from Shams was
jeez.
he still has some check marks he has to hit in his return to play following the left arthroscopic knee surgery he overwent in the offseason.
Hmm.
So he hasn't hit quote unquote the check marks that he needs to hit. So he won't be
Okay.
there for the Celtics opener. Um, and this is like last year all over again. So I don't know, Owen.
Yeah.
There's some excitement, but there's also very tempered expectations.
Tempered expectations. That's a good word for what we need to have for this. The other thing that I want to hit on before we get into the segments, just roster construction and expectations wise, the fact that the Sixers brought back Quentin Grimes, I think, is very noteworthy and interesting because at one point it didn't seem like they were going to bring him back because he was asking for an absurd amount of money, and then apparently nobody else wanted to offer him that either, and so he came back to the Sixers on actually a pretty fair deal, and he looked great at the end of last year. So, how important do you see him being this year for the Sixers?
Good question. It's tough to say because he looked good, but is he a good stats, bad team player? The Sixers won 4 games down the stretch after the All-Star break. That's when he was going crazy. So he was playing well scoring the ball, but they weren't winning. And so obviously there's five players on a court. One player can be playing well, but the team can be losing. I just think that it's similar to Jared McCain. He was playing well at the beginning of the season. They started out 2-12. Like you can have these guys that are playing well, scoring the ball, but what does it look like on the defensive end? I'm very excited to see the offense. I'm super excited to see the offense, but I'm very worried about the defense because I think you have all these guards that are just a little bit undersized, don't provide any paint protection, and some of these teams can really just kill them in the paint, and I'm very worried about it. Um, so yeah, to answer your question, on, I'm excited to see Grimes. Very excited. I'm glad he's back. He was playing very well last year. Um, it's just going to be interesting to see, can the guard play carry? And hey, maybe there's a scenario where Embiid does look like himself of 3 years ago and is holding down the paint. And if that's the case, which I think he needs to do that this year, the team can be really good. Like you got four guards that you can play around Embiid, and that could be so special. Imagine come postseason if VJ Edgecombe and Quentin Grimes and Paul George is coming off the bench for a little size, Kelly Oubre for a little size, but you could play a lineup of Quentin Grimes, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Jared McCain, and just dominate people just running the floor from an athleticism and shooting standpoint. Like that could be really, really nice with Embiid holding down the paint. But the chance that we actually see that is probably like 10%, maybe
Yeah.
5%.
Mm.
So, yeah, to answer your question, I'm excited, but very, very much worried on the defensive end.
Yeah, if we could just drop MVP Joel Embiid into this healthy MVP Joel Embiid, that would be fantastic. Unfortunately, we do not live in that world. Based on your description, I think the conclusion we can come to is, and I'm sorry, Philadelphia fans, in advance for saying this, it sounds like the Sixers could very well be the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA this year, from a performance standpoint of really entertaining offense with a lot of great pieces, horrific defense, probably around 500 team.
Honestly, that feels pretty accurate. Um, and the thing that's different about the Philadelphia fans, like the thing that's different about us compared to the Cowboys fans, is we don't expect to be, we're very reasonable fans. Cowboys fans always just think their team's going to be in the playoffs every year. That's that's not us. We're very reasonable. And the thing is, the only thing I don't like about that analogy is you got the leader of the team, Dak Prescott actually is playing really well for the Cowboys, and this is where they're at. Their offense is good, defense is bad. I think Joel Embiid, I don't know. I don't project him to maybe be playing at a high level. So I think they just have a more solid team, I would say, but a very bad defensive team. And that does equate very well to that Cowboys analogy.
Gotcha. All right. Well, on that awesome note, let's move into our segments. I have a couple of things prepared for Parker. First, we're going to hit some over unders. So this will still be this will bring us into some more analysis, but it's going to be more focused around the over under. So Parker, your first over under will start out broad. Sixers wins. The official line is 42 and a half.
This is an under, Owen. This is 42 and a
I
half.
was
That
afraid
means
you'd
they've
say
got to
that.
go 43 and 39 in an 82 game season. And I don't think they're going to be healthy enough to hit this line. Um, you know what I was saying about it could
Dang
look
it.
so nice. It's just, man, I don't know. I feel like if you're going over on this, you need to be banking on 50 plus Embiid games. And we already see Paul George is going to be out, and they don't have any size. It worries me, and I don't see fit 43 wins. I don't know. I could see 40 wins maybe, but I think that's maybe best case scenario. I don't know if they can get to 43.
Okay. What is absolute best case scenario? Like the stuff we talked about of that 5% chance of Embiid being even close to MVP form and the team around him meshing well.
Yeah, the 5% chance, the best case scenario for the Sixer squad going into this season is that Embiid is healthy come playoff time. They make the playing game and
That's
they
a low
face a one or
ceiling.
two seed. No, but I'm serious. They face a one or two seed fully healthy, and they give them maybe a run for their money. Maybe they get in as the eight seed and they beat the sevens they or whatever. Something happens and they play maybe the Pistons who had a great regular season or the Bucks who had a good regular season. I don't know because the East is very weak, Owen. It's super weak.
Mm.
So anything could happen. I don't know. The Knicks are really strong, but if they played a weaker team and they were fully healthy come playoff time, maybe they could last one series without getting hurt and make it to the next round. There's no way they're going to last two series, but at least maybe one series they can hold out. So
I
I
can't
would
believe we're at
say
this point.
second round would be highest ceiling for this squad
Okay.
in a weak East, which is really disappointing, honestly. If it was the
Yeah.
West, they'd be fighting for bottom five teams in the West.
Yeah. The West is absurd. So even regular season wins uh total, the ceiling you're saying is like 45.
Yeah, the 5% scenario, maybe 45.
Okay.
I think
That's the
there's
best
that
regular
over under rate.
season.
There's about a 90% chance they hit the under on that. I'm
Okay.
not gonna lie, Owen. You
Gotcha.
need perfect injury luck. That doesn't happen to old guys. And beat
No.
31. We've never seen a guy that's over 7 foot recover from the injuries he's been dealing with. Just doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
I
Next line. Joel Embiid games played over under 40 and a half.
like the line, Owen. You're basically saying is Embiid gonna play 41 out of 82 games? Is he gonna play in half the games this year? And I just don't think so. We already know he's not playing back to backs. And honestly, I think it should be closer to 30, 35 is the amount of games he's going to play. Like, if you see him play this year, consider yourself lucky that you get to see him in action, but also not lucky because he's going to be getting beat by all these quick, 20, 21-year-old guards. I don't think he has the same rim protection anymore. And I don't know, Owen. I could see him going down with injury like every other possession almost. Like it's gonna be. Do
That
you
sounds like a
think he's
terrible
gonna
way to go through the
finish?
season.
Do
It
you
sounds
think he's gonna
awful.
finish a game that he starts right, and plays 20 minutes in, let's say? How do you think there's gonna be a game where he's not actively getting worked on by the medical staff or falls during the game and gets looked at by medical staff or um, something happens and he has to go to the bench? Do you think there's going to be a game where that does not happen? He doesn't have an injury problem?
I hope there's
Just one.
one. I hope there's one game where he gets through it clean. I
I think the over under is point 0.5, Owen. I think it's point 0.5.
that's so sad, dude, that we're at that point. I
I
the,
know.
this preview is getting
And
sadder and sadder, honestly.
it is. But here's the thing. It's like you can see the potential of the team. It's like it's at least not all hope is lost because the potential is there. You know, they have some of the chips when healthy to be there. So it's not like they're just the Brooklyn Nets that have seven rookies that can't play and need the ball and aren't going to be good. Like at
At
least
least we're not
there's
the
a
Brooklyn
chance.
Nets.
Yeah, at least we're not the
Yeah.
Nets or the
Yeah.
Kings or the Hornets or um, there's a lot of teams I'd rather not be. So it's
Hmm.
not the end of the world, Owen. I just don't think Embiid is going to be the same guy, honestly.
Okay.
And if he is, I'm going to be so happy because I think he deserves to be that guy. Like I just want to see him healthy because for his even for his mental health and just like how good he is. I still think about the fact that I might have seen the last great Embiid game when I went
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Game 3 against the Knicks, and Embiid just drops 50 points or whatever it was. I just don't expect him to ever do that ever again. But when he's healthy, he's so good. He's so good, and that was the game where he threw it off the backboard to himself and dunked it, and then he got hurt from it, and then he wasn't the same that series, and then it wasn't the
Yeah.
same last year. So he's so special, Owen. He is. I love Embiid so much. Um, it's just, we're just talking about injuries. That's the through line of this entire podcast. We're just
Yeah.
talking about injuries, and
Hmm.
it's disappointing. Like, I don't know what else to say. This is the most real Sixers talk we can give you. Like, um, we've just been ravaged over the last 2 to 3 years with Embiid, seeing the highs and lows. And so I don't know. I don't know what else to say on it.
Yeah. Before we continue with the over unders, I want to put a pin in that. And before I forget, real quick, just like 90 seconds, I want to stop on the exercise that you just did of what are the teams that you would not rather be, I think is the way to phrase it. What teams do you uh, feel better about being a Sixers fan than those other teams? Just to really, irritate some fan bases real quick.
Yeah, great point. The Kings, they haven't made the playoffs since what, 2002? I was born in 2004. I, Sacramento Kings are one. When you get to the Eastern Conference, the Brooklyn Nets, they're they've got a team that's better than them in their literally in their backyard. I hate being the Nets. Their fan base is disloyal. They were one shot away from being great, and then they had the worst big three failure in the last 10 years. Um, I hate being the Hornets, honestly. All you have is LaMelo, and at this point, good for you. Okay, good for you. You've got LaMelo. You're going to win 15 games. And I would hate being the Bulls. The Bulls are stuck in purgatory year after year. Ever since Derrick Rose, got hurt, they just love being a play-in team, getting swept in the first round, getting knocked out of the play-in. The Bulls would be awful. That they want to do nothing to make their team better. And honestly, right now, the Raptors, they're paying three guys $85 million, and none of the guys are good. And they're probably, honestly, I think the Raptors are going to be worse than the Sixers this year. Okay. Stay in
Okay.
Canada right now because you come down, play teams in the States, you're just going to lose. Um, I would hate being the Raptors. Other than that, I think most teams have a good future. I don't know, Owen.
Okay, so
There's
there's four teams that you feel worse about than the Sixers?
five:
Five.
Raptors,
Sorry.
Bulls, Hornets, Kings, Nets. Five.
Okay.
Let
There
me
we
make
go.
sure I'm not missing any. But
That
that's
was
that's my list. That's my list right there because yeah, every other team has at least something going. Oh, the Phoenix Suns. I forgot about them.
mm,
They've got Grayson Allen playing 40 minutes a game. I would hate being the Suns. They have no future. All their picks are traded away. Even the
yeah.
Wizards have a little something going on. Might be good in a couple of years. Like literally, those are the only six teams I can think of. Um,
Do you feel better
the
about the
Jazz.
Wizards than the Sixers though? Like the Sixers, even without Embiid, like you've got Edgecombe, McCain, Maxey. Those three have to be better than what the Wizards have, right?
All right, I'll put them bottom 10. Okay, Sixers.
Okay.
But you do have some worse teams.
Yeah.
Blazers,
Hmm.
they got nothing going on.
Yeah.
Jazz got nothing going on.
Yeah.
Wizards got nothing going on. So, but I would put them down there with like they're better than those teams. Their future is better than those teams. But if you think about it too long, it's like, are they really that much better than the Wizards in the future? Like with
What a sad
what the
question to
Wizards
ask.
roster. I'm genuinely asking because the Wizards have some stuff going on. Doug Carrington showed stuff last year. Like
Hmm.
you got Keyshawn George, Trey Johnson could give him some offensive
Yeah,
prowess. I don't know. I don't know. They're going to be better than the Wizards, but what I'm
yeah,
saying is
yeah.
like
Future.
Cam Whitmore. I don't know. I don't know, man. Just the future.
Yeah.
It's a little bit bleak. I think they're definitely bottom 10. It's
Okay.
just
So
yeah.
those are
Right
the
now,
teams. Yeah. Right now, preseason, those are the teams that you feel worse about than the Sixers. Just to give us some quick context. So that was a good exercise. Um, Back to the over unders. We can rip through these because we've been recording for a little while. But VJ Edgecombe, points, assists, rebounds combined per
I'm
game over
smashing
under
smashing
15 and a
this
half.
over.
Okay.
Smashing this over. There's you got to play. Like you're not going to be playing. Kyle Lowry's not going to be getting minutes anymore, barely. If he is, I'm gonna be so disappointed. VJ Edgecombe's going to be smashing this over. I could see a world where he goes 8-5-5, something like that. Maybe he goes, 12-5-3, something like that. But I think he's smashing that over.
That would be fantastic. I am all for that. We believe in VJ Edgecombe. That's great. Sixers offensive ranking over under 14 and a half in the league.
I'm gonna go over. I think they're
Okay.
gonna be a top. I think they're gonna be a top 15 offense. I wouldn't go as far as saying top 10.
That was going to be where I
I
was
do think
going to. Okay.
I
That's
think
the
top
range.
15 is a good. That's the range right there. Yeah.
Okay. And then, as we've talked about at length, the defensive ranking, you already said you think they could be bottom three, so I think I know how you're going to go with this one.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to watching them on the defensive end this year. Um, Definitely over on that. If the over is worse, yeah,
Yes.
definitely
Yeah. The
over.
over would be, yeah, a higher number. So easy over for you there. And then last, the Sixers East seeding at the end of the year. I think also based on what you said earlier, we can guess where you'll go with this.
I'm gonna go under for sure. If they get a 6 seed, wow, oh, I'm gonna be so happy. That would be really really good. I'd be very happy with that. Um, when it comes to the Eastern Conference rankings, it is kind of wide open. You got so many teams that are just not the same this year. But I see a playing team. That's what I see, Owen.
Yeah. So like, if you had to pick a seed, 8 seed, 9 seed, like as the most
I
likely
I would
seed.
say so. I think they beat the Bulls in the play-in because the Bulls will never
Okay. What a
never
matchup.
make it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I do see maybe an 8 or 9 seed, and maybe they win their playing game and get the 8 seed or something. That's kind of my projection.
Okay. There you go. That is not the official. I could not find a uh, official projection of the Sixers seed, so that was my line for them. So don't go being like, why was that the over under? The that was just me setting a line. So probably should have set it a bit higher, or I guess lower seed, higher number. But anyway. So that's the over unders. A lot of unders. um, Compared to what you'd want from the Sixers, but yeah, that's all right. It's all right. We're gonna go into our last segment, which is a tier list of how excited is Parker to see every single member of the Sixers roster play this year. And so we have top tier Christmas morning. What's more exciting than that? Next, we have attention grabber. Got our attention. We are excited when you're on the court. Glimmer of hope. I would say that's there's some optimism, but not huge expectations. Stick to the bench, pretty self-explanatory. not huge expectations. And presence is a net negative. Also, pretty self explanatory. Um, don't really want you around. I can already predict Eric Gordon will be in that tier. I'll just say that. Uh,
That's a
so,
great place to start. Let's put him right in that tier,
okay,
Owen.
before we even
Put
do
Eric Gordon in.
Eric Gordon, straight to presence is a net negative. There we go. First one. Next, and this is a randomly generated order so that just to keep Parker on his toes. Kyle Lowry.
Oh, great. I love it. Let's put him stick to the bench, Owen. Stick to the bench. I love that veteran presence. I think he's going to be good for the young guys in the group. But he should stick to the bench. I don't want to see him in the game. I do want to see him on the team as a young presence or older presence in that locker room, but stick to the bench.
Speaking of the younger guys, VJ Edgecombe.
Oh, I love it, Owen. Okay. Now we're talking here, okay? There's some preseason buzz. Some people are saying, "Oh, Ace Bailey was the right pick. Why we pick Ace? Why didn't we pick Ace? Why we pick VJ Edgecombe?" Oh man, for me, Christmas morning, Owen. I feel like it's you gotta say Christmas morning on these rookies, right? Seeing this guy play live ball action, I don't need to see a lot, but he's gonna get touches, Owen. He's gonna get serious touches, and I just can already see the highlight in my head right now of him dunking. Who should I call it? Miles Turner
Book it.
catching bodies, book it right over Miles Turner. All right. When do they play the Bucks?
I don't
Let's
know.
just look this up.
That's all right. Yeah, you got
Well,
that.
what whenever it is, okay,
Yeah.
guarantee you VJ Edgecomb's gonna catch a body in that game. Okay.
Okay.
100%.
There will be a couple of times, so there's multiple opportunities. So
November 20th, December 5th of this year, and then January 27th. So he's got three
perfect.
chances to dunk on Miles Turner.
Okay, great. Preferably at home, but any time for your prediction to stand. Next, Adem Bona.
Adem was kind of bad last year. He was kind of antsy, a rim runner, but didn't do much. His hands weren't as soft as you'd like to see from a big guy. Um, I don't know. I don't know because I'm torn. I'm between stick to the bench and the
Glimmer
one
of
right
hope.
above that. Let's see, glimmer of hope. I would say he's still young. If his hands are a little softer this year, I'm gonna go glimmer of hope. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the
I think
doubt,
that's fair.
and
Yeah.
he's gotta step up. Embiid's gonna be injured. You already know that, so he's gonna get a chance to show himself this year. And hey, he was a rookie last year, so let's give him that opportunity. Glimmer of hope.
hmm Joel Embiid.
What's the bottom tier, Owen?
Presence is a net negative? We can't say that.
No, we can't say that, but there was times last year where you could say that maybe it distracted the team and the presence wasn't that negative. Um, Honestly, though, I've got an Embiid jersey. Everybody in Philly loves. If you're a true Sixers fan, you love seeing healthy Embiid. It's just the fact that he's never healthy is very disappointing. So, honestly, I'm gonna go with what's the second tier there? Sorry,
Attention grabber.
attention grabber. I feel like that's
Okay.
kind of right up Embiid's alley. He's an
Yeah, because
attention
it can't
grabber
be
when he's on
Christmas
the court.
morning because there's too much that could go wrong. We'd be getting too excited. So I think that's fair.
Attention grabber is right where he should be because he's going to grab attention whether he's playing or not playing. So
There,
I do like that.
there you go. Love that. Jared McCain.
You know where I have to put this on? You know where I have to put this one.
I know that you
This is
really like
Christmas
Jared
morning.
McCain. Yep.
This is Christmas morning, okay? Take a guess, Owen. All right. Out of the entire Sixers roster, did anybody get any awards last year?
No.
Correct. But did anybody get any votes?
Did Jared McCain get a Rookie of the Year vote?
Jared McCain was seventh in Rookie of the Year voting. Okay, he was seventh overall,
That's
and he only
absurd.
played the first month and a half. Okay, so Jared McCain absolutely lights out shooter. Last year, he was almost okay. You know the famed 50-40-90 club,
Hmm.
right? He was really close to hitting it. His
Yeah.
2-point field goal percentage was 53%. He was 38% from three on volume when he was playing,
Hmm.
and he was 87.5% from the free throw line. Okay, as a
I'll take
rookie
that.
in his first month,
Yeah.
right? Imagine how good he's going to be if he stays healthy and plays, from December through the rest of the season. What is he going to be after the All-Star break?
Hmm.
Okay, Christmas morning, Owen. It, I am so excited to see what he's going to look like if he stays healthy. And I don't think these are leg injuries like Embiid. Like I think these are things you can bounce back from. So I'm very excited.
Hmm. Yeah. Justin Edwards.
That's a good point. Justin Edwards, I don't know. His is he a net positive? Is he a net negative? Like, eh, he gives me middle of the road vibes. Wasn't that
Hmm.
good last year. Last year, if we just look at his field goal percentage, it was 45%. Really bad.
Yeah.
3-point percentage is 36%. Um, you think, oh, Justin Edwards, maybe he gives me something like from a playmaking standpoint, from a rebounding standpoint. No, he averaged 3 rebounds,
No.
1 assist. Like he doesn't really do anything. Um, so I'm just gonna put him right in the middle. Like I don't think he should stick to the bench. I think he's gonna need to play. But I'm just gonna put him at the
Glimmer of hope.
offense. Glim- yes, glimmer of hope. Glimmer
Similar
of
to
hope.
Bona, young guy. There's still a chance he could develop. Not likely, but it's possible that he could improve. So there's a glimmer of hope. I think that fits pretty
Yeah,
well.
yeah, for sure.
Next, we got Kelly Oubre.
Kelly Oubre is tough. I don't know. I'm between two tiers. I'm between attention grabber because he has some really athletic plays, um, and glimmer of hope because I feel like he's our only defensive player. I can't have him in the stick to the bench tier. Um, And honestly, at this point in his career, I'm not sure about how good he's going to be from an attention grabbing standpoint. So I'm going to put him at glimmer of hope. I think he is our only hope on the defensive end. So I think it's fitting that he goes in the glimmer of hope category.
There you go. That glimmer is specifically on the defensive end of the court. I think that's fair.
Yes.
This might be the most polarizing one. Paul George. How excited are you to see Paul George play this year?
Not very excited. Um, I don't know, Owen. Um, I'm between two tiers right now. He's not a net negative. I think he knows his role. He's older. He we've seen what he looks like last year. He's already hurt. He's going to be missing the first game of the season. I don't think it's fair to stick to the bench on Paul George. Okay. He knows his role, which I actually like and appreciate. Um, but I also don't think he's in the glimmer of hope tier because we know kind of what he is.
Mm-hmm.
I would say he is also an attention grabber. I'm going to put him right up there with Embiid in the attention grabber category. I think there could be scenarios where Paul George really comes into his own, plays his role well, and is efficient. I could see it. I could see an attention grabbing stat line every here and then, and I kind of like that tier for him. So we'll go attention grabber.
There we go. I think that makes sense. The attention grabber tier is starting to become what I think is good and fair. A tier of not necessarily negative or positive attention. That it could be either one. That, like you said very well with Embiid, he's going to draw attention in Embiid's on the court or Embiid's hurt. Similar with Paul George, like they're going to have our attention as to legitimately just whether or not they're playing. So, yeah, I think having them on the same tier is good because if they're playing well, it is exciting, and if they're hurt, it matters. So, next, Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, Quentin Grimes, I can't put him at Christmas morning. I am excited for him. Um, I'm gonna put him as well in the attention grabber category because he obviously we saw what happened down the stretch last year. Um, he averaged 22 points per game. That's attention grabbing right there. Can he keep that up when there's other players playing and shooting? We'll see, but it's gonna grab some attention. So on the offensive end, like I've been saying, let's put him in that tier, attention grabber.
Okay, Tyrese Maxey.
It's a great question. It's like, Tyrese Maxey, once you get old enough and you do Christmas enough times, it's like you kind of know, like, oh, the presents are coming. I'm excited, but I'm not as excited. I feel like that's how I am with Tyrese Maxey. Um, he was
Okay,
voted 10th for Clutch Player of the Year last year, so he does have a clutch gene. It doesn't really carry much weight, but I thought that was funny. Um, so can I really put him in the Christmas morning tier? When I kind of know what he is, he's a fringe all-star when he's playing well. He gets downhill, which is great. Getting into the paint is fantastic. Um, but I don't think I can put him in that Christmas morning category. I've been through it enough times. It's not quite as exciting anymore. And we didn't see him really take a huge step last year. I'm not expecting him to take a big step this year either. I think he's going to be more of like, we know who this guy is. He's good on offense, on defense. Give me attention grabber just because of how flashy he is. He gets to the rim, but I don't think he deserves to be Christmas morning.
okay. So you think Tyrese Maxey has peaked?
It's a great question, Owen. Why, why are you asking all the hard-hitting questions? I would say,
Or at least
okay,
close?
I would say he's gotten very close. Yeah, I don't know. He can still take a step. Um, he's only 24. Okay, you see the best guys in the league really come into form when they're like 26, 27, 28. So I don't think he's peaked. I think there is still another step up for him on the offensive end. Um, it's just there is a limit there. You can't be like crazy, crazy because your defense, the defensive piece. So I still think there is another gear he could get to. I'm just not sure it's this season, and I'm excited for him to prove me wrong. But I think it's more so the attention grabber. I could see him being an all-star this year. I really could. But I've already seen him be an all-star before, and more so it's attention grabbing for me.
Fair. Andre Drummond.
Stick to the bench, honestly. I
Mm-hmm.
really hope he gets to stick to the bench because I want Embiid to be playing. Okay. If
Yeah.
Embiid is playing, he can stick to the bench, come in for 5 minutes maybe. But stick to the bench, Andre. You're 32 at this point. Just stick to the bench.
Yeah. And now we get to the guys that are gonna basically fill out the bottom two tiers here. Starting it off with Jonai Broom.
Janai Broom, I can't call him a net negative because I haven't seen him play a single NBA minute. So we're just gonna put him at stick to the bench just because I haven't seen him play at all. Haven't had any reports about bad attitude, anything like that. So we can't put him at net negative. Let's put him right at stick to the bench.
All right, he is gonna stick to the bench. Trendon Watford, who actually I saw a little bit of hype when they got him. People were like, "This guy's not bad," and I did not know that.
What team did he come from, Owen?
The Nets, I believe.
Yeah, net negative. Get it? Literally, get it?
Nice.
Get, I don't know if he should be on the team, Owen. Um, we have to put him in the net negative.
Okay, I respect that. Sorry to the people that I did see some of that excitement from. Parker does not share your excitement whatsoever, not in the slightest. Um,
Is he going to be on the team next year? The answer is no.
okay, fair. That's kind of the category that we're in with all of these guys now. Hunter Salas, who, gotta be honest, didn't know his name until prepping for this.
Yeah, net negative. You're just dead weight. Oh, don't clip that. He's an NBA player. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that. Don't actually mean that. Um, but he's 6'4" and 185. We have enough of those guys on our team. Okay, we need some size.
He's
Just dead weight at this
185.
point.
Ugh, yeah,
185. I'm 185.
yeah. You're. He's basically got the same build as you, almost. That's
Basically,
crazy.
just like 1.5 inches taller.
Jeez.
Yeah, get
Okay.
him off the roster.
All right. Uh. Well, yeah. That like I was. This we are gonna fill out these bottom two. Jabari Walker.
See, here's the thing. Jabari Walker is 6'7", Owen. Um, guess how many pounds he weighs? 237.
Okay.
Okay,
Bigger
237.
guy.
So bigger guy. And I'm between two categories, either glimmer of hope or stick to the bench. I
Wow.
remember
Glimmer
seeing
of
him at
hope.
Colorado. Yeah, no, I'm Jabari Walker. You have to watch out for him, okay? Because I remember seeing him at Colorado, and I was very impressed. He's got size. He could fill in to this roster if Embiid
Okay.
is hurt and actually get some playing time. I could see him being a decent NBA player, and there's a reason why he's on the roster. Okay, um, I like his athleticism. Uh, I liked what I saw when I watched his college tape, which I didn't watch a lot of these guys' college tape. I'm going glimmer of hope, Owen. I really am. I could see Jabari Walker being on the roster next year, getting an extension. So I am glowing glimmer of
Wow.
hope for Jabari Walker.
Against all odds. Good. Shout out to Jabari Walker, man. I think
I
the best
believe in
way
you.
I
I,
would.
I really do.
Okay.
I
Best way
believe
I
in
think I
him.
would summarize that is he could potentially be part of our doomsday starting lineup. Like the if everything goes wrong, this guy is starting for us, and he gets some opportunities in that scenario.
Yes, I'm with you on that, Owen. It's a great way to describe it. I love it.
Okay. And then uh, we gotta round it out with Dominic Barlow.
Um, yeah, this guy's interesting. I don't know. This is a guy that I'm not very well versed on. Um, but
Fair.
here's the thing, Owen. Here's the thing. He played for Overtime Elite. All right. He's 6'9". Okay. He's only 215. All
This is
right.
the key. How tall is he?
But we need size. We need that, Owen. All of our guys are
Yeah.
6'4" and under. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put him as stick to the bench because
Okay.
we need him on the bench, even if it's just to look a little bit more like an NBA team this year.
Hmm.
When you walk into the gym, you're not seeing a bunch of high school sized players. You're seeing Dominic Barlow standing at 6'9", putting some, at least thoughts into the other team's heads of like, oh, we're playing an NBA team, not a high school team. So
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna stick him on the
Nice.
bench at least as more of like an intimidation, lengthy Kevin Durant type Slenderman.
Hmm. Okay. So basically, the way to stay out of net negative is just simply be over 6'5", and you're you're
Yes,
contributing in some way. If you're over 6'5", it's better than nothing.
yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yes. That's
That's
kind of
I like
my
that.
on this team, that's all you need to do
Yeah.
to actually provide some value.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Well, I love the symmetry of this. With 17 players, this is basically as symmetrical as you can get. Very well balanced tier list, Parker. So great work with that. Um, is there anything else that you want to either get off your chest or warn people about, or yeah, anything else that we were not able to cover to wrap up the Sixers preview?
The main thing that I just want to say to all the Sixers fans out there this year is that when you compare this franchise to the Eagles, a successful NFL franchise, it doesn't even come close. It does not compare. The front office and the general manager for the 76ers is not good, okay? And we cannot have the same expectations that we do for the Eagles right now because the coach, front office, and GM are not A caliber. They are C caliber, maybe. Okay. So every year there's going to be an uphill climb for a slightly dysfunctional franchise. We have to have that in our head. Okay. Understand the Sixers are not the same as the Eagles. The behind the scenes is not the same. And just understand that as a Philadelphia fan. Okay. I just want to be there. I'm with you on this. The Sixers, tempered expectations is what we've been saying. Um, they might make the play in, and let's go absolutely have fun watching VJ Edgecombe and Jared McCain step into some nice roles. So come 2026, okay, that could be our year. All right. So let's do it. Let's enjoy this season. Hopefully Nick Nurse doesn't get fired and he's actually okay this year. And let's just see some average basketball, maybe slightly exciting offense and for a defense. I am ready for it, Owen.
I love that summary at the end. That was awesome. Yeah, I completely agree about the dysfunction. That's a good point to make, to just remember who we're dealing with here. We can't have as high of expectations. Final thing, I have saved the most important question for last. How does the return of hip hop impact this team?
I think in the stadium, it's going to be slightly more electric. Maybe we'll get Allen Iverson back to watch one game this year. And if that's the case, they might win that game. It might swing the over under one game. And
Maybe they have a
yeah,
winning
I think
record
that's a
with the
good way to.
black jerseys. We could keep an eye on that. They finally brought back the black jerseys. Maybe they have a winning record with them, the way the Eagles do with Kelly Green. Possible.
I like it. I like it's a great theory, and
Okay.
let's track that throughout this year.
Okay. Personally, my main concern with hip hop is that they brought back the exact same guy who was hip hop in 2001 to be hip hop now. And from all the clips I've seen, there was a lot of gymnastics going on, high flying acrobatics. I don't know if that guy 20 years older is equipped to do this. So I think it's very possible that that guy, sorry that I don't remember his name. Shout out to you, sir. I don't remember your name, but I think that it is highly probable that we've talked about all the Sixers' potential injuries this year. Hip hop could be added to that list. He is as susceptible as any of the Sixers players on their roster to also end up injured, and that would be the most Sixers thing ever.
Oh yeah. Bill Roth, 55 years old. You're right, Owen.
Bill.
He probably will get injured just like the rest of the 76ers.
We're gonna have a 55-year-old out there doing flips off the trampoline. No way he doesn't get injured. Who gets injured first? Paul George. Well, Paul George, I guess we just said is already injured. I don't know who gets injured first, a Sixers player or hip hop. But yeah, so just another injury to keep an eye out for. 55-year-old doing those tricks. I don't know. The Sixers just crave injury. That's all.
I do. Oh, and you asked me a lot about my expectations this year. Let's end this pod with your expectations. What are your thoughts going into the season? Give me the rundown real quick, and then we'll see you next time.
Well, honestly, they were higher before hearing you talk about this. I'm naturally optimistic. That's just how I am. Unfortunately, it is to a fault when it comes to Philly sports most of the time. But I can't help it. Naturally, I'm optimistic. I try to enjoy the ride the best I can, and then a lot of times I get my heart broken by these teams. But yeah, it was higher. Like I set the East seed at 6.5 for the over under. Because I was like, the East is bad, and I was thinking more along the lines of the Sixers, Embiid playing enough games and the other guys stepping up enough. And honestly, I don't even know what to expect of Paul George, but I don't know, Paul George being like good enough somehow. Um, that I was like, I was talking myself into like, yeah, they could get the 6 seed somehow,
Hmm.
5 seed max. Just because the East is absolutely terrible. But you talking about all of their flaws really dialed it back for me. So I think my main expectations are how few of injuries can they get through this season with, because
Yes.
that's the main thing hindering us and our expectations, is that like we have not experienced a fully healthy Sixers season in who knows how long. That over under of 42.5 wins for this year, that's the official Sixers over under line. That's their lowest entering a season since 2017, going into the 2017-2018 season. So I think that's a good depiction of where we're at. Like we've not had the bar this low in a while. So we got to kind of get accustomed to that. But I'm very excited to see the young guys play. As a shorter person myself, excited to see some short guard play. Short, they're still all like 6 to 8 inches taller than me, but you know, um, yeah, by comparison, I think that they'll be fun to watch, and I will certainly get my hopes up. They'll probably play well, and I'll be like, yeah, they can do this. They can not be stuck in the play-in, and then something will go like horrifically wrong and set them back. But yeah, I think that I am expecting them to make the playoffs. If I have to set exact expectations, I expect that they will make the playoffs. So
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
I like it. And I'm with you on that. I think they get in there, as closer to an 8 seed maybe, but I still I think they're gonna be fun to watch too. Like we're gonna
We'll
watch
take
games
that.
together this year and we're gonna enjoy watching them.
We'll take that.
And so I think it's gonna be a fun season, honestly, because I think the offense is gonna look kind of exciting and um I don't know. Let's just see how it plays out on the court. Like we could
Yeah,
be talking about this, and then who knows? Maybe they have great injury luck, and
it's
we're
possible.
just completely wrong because VJ Edgecombe is revolutionary and Jared McCain shoots 43% from three, and Embiid looks like a defensive hammer again. Holy cow! Our whole expectations are all of a sudden what we just said. This entire pod is out the wayside, but let's go Sixers fans. I think let's just roll into the season and let's stop talking before we get hurt.
Yeah, honestly. Um,
Our
other
our
as
vocal
long
cords
as
are in danger right now. Our vocal cords are in danger. We've been talking about the Sixers for too long. Um,
just association with the Sixers is risky.
we're in the 82nd minute of the podcast, and
Yeah.
you know what happens after 82 games? The playoffs come. And that's
Okay.
when you're not surviving. So we gotta wrap this up.
We gotta, yeah. I last thing, I if the Sixers do nothing else well this year, at least they brought back the black jerseys. As somebody who loves jerseys, thrilled with that. So, if nothing else, one good thing happened this year, and it was bringing back the
That's
black
true.
jerseys. So that's it.
All
All
right,
right.
last question, Owen, and
Oh,
then let's
you
head
said the
out.
other one was last.
Sorry, who's your favorite player on the Sixers this season?
Tyrese Maxey.
Okay.
Yours?
Who's second?
Oh, okay. Uh,
Who's third? Second and third.
Tyrese Maxey definitely won. I haven't seen VJ Edgecombe play, but I feel like he's going to be number 2 if he like plays the whole year. I think that he could very easily become number 2. And then probably Embiid 3.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry,
I
Jared
like that.
McCain.
I
Love
would
Jared
go
McCain, but
for me, McCain is like I think it's Maxi slash Embiid. They're both there. 1A, 1B. I would go Embiid 1A, Maxi 1B,
okay.
um, McCain, and then Edgecombe. So if it was only
Okay.
three, I would go Embiid, Maxi, McCain. But McCain has a chance to jump into that one spot. VJ has a chance to jump into the one spot too. So we'll see this year, but um, I don't know. I'm excited for it, even though
Hmm.
I don't think the defense is going to be very good. And honestly, our podcast is the opposite of that. Our podcast is very good. So if you could like, subscribe, comment, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
We're going to be giving you analysis throughout the season, and we talk Philly sports all the time. So feel free to, yeah, do one of those things. And we appreciate every one of you. Owen, I love talking sports with you. This is fun, and I'm so glad we got this to work. So great job, great job.
Me too. I missed it. It had been a minute, and obviously talking Sixers with you is the best version of that for me because I'm learning a lot from you. So I'm glad we were able to make this work. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we will, I don't know, check back in at some point whenever something important with the Sixers happens. So see you guys later.